Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It is the day of the week we call the 12th of October 2021. As of course you know, it is the day after Columbus Day. I did not know that the soup kitchen was not open yesterday. I went to the soup kitchen hoping to get some food for the house to find out there was no food. I was like, oh, that's just wonderful. We got a couple of topics to cover today, and of course, when we get done covering them, they probably will end up becoming part of the new title for the stream. One of those has to do with the issue of what's going on with the shipping sector and the local sector, in part brought upon by the mandates of Joe Biden. I want to make sure you understand that, first of all, I'm not trying to stir controversial topics. I'm not trying to stir the pot, but it does happen. So, I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page with each other. Right now, as you may know, there's a mandate in order to try to mandate that everybody must get the jab. The problem is the pilots union, in addition to several other unions and shipping unions, have totally against this, and in such a way that they're saying is, I'd rather quit my job than be fired or be forced to take this, this stuff. And so they are leaving. The truckers are already under a lot of stress. A lot of them are quitting their jobs, leaving huge fleets of trucks running idle. The other thing is how you doing? The other thing is that that means that a lot of freight, a lot of shipments are not getting to the stores. Now we already have problems with the loading docks at both Long Beach and Port of Los Angeles, as it is now, of not being able to get supplies in and out of the stores. First of all, I don't have a car, so I strongly doubt you're going to be able to help me any. Okay? I don't have a car. But I am concerned about what's going on with the shipping in the stores, because the fact of the matter is we can't get groceries because both, not just one, and maybe other stores too. I haven't gone through and looked at Stop and Shop yet because I don't have an easy way to get Stop and Shop and find a lot of things. But both Cumberland Farms are starting to run out of supplies, and I haven't been able to get ice cream at Cumberland Farms for weeks. No, thank you. But anyway, so, I mean, I noticed, like, for example, one Cumberland Farms has a freezer that is not working. So a lot of the stuff that was in that freezer has been either when spoiled or some that could be saved was moved in pro tem into another freezer. But the problem is that one freezer that has been broken and has constantly been broken is at least 50 years old, and unfortunately enough, they don't know what they're going to do about it. Okay, this is in the old Cumberland Farms. Obviously, the new Cumberland Farms, everything's working fine, except the new Cumberland Farms, they seem to be focused more on refrigerated food than frozen food, and that's bad because the new Cumberland Farms doesn't have the food area to store lots of food. Frozen food, especially, is hard for the new Cumberland Farms to store. And I don't really know what they're going to do about that, because anyway, even if the freezer was working, it would still be bare. Why? Because the fact of the matter is the trucks Cumberland Farms uses to get groceries to the stores are a limited number of trucks. Now, they have their own fleet of trucks, But the problem is there's a driver shortage. Okay, there's a driver shortage, and so the fleet that they have is trying to service as many as Cumberland farms as fast as they can, and they're not able to get to all the stores in a timely manner because there's a shortage of drivers. Okay, and all because Joe Biden opened his mouth and said some really nasty stuff. In one of his speeches in Illinois, he actually talks about the unvaxxed almost like lepers. They and heathen and dirty vile worms, and I'm like, what? First of all, does he not know that in some cases the people that choose to remain unvaxxed are highly informed, highly educated individuals who, for a variety of reasons, do not trust it, and so they choose not to take that because they don't think it's even appropriate. No one ever said the same thing about the flu vaccine. No one ever said, well, you must take the flu vaccine in order to get a job. You must show me a flu vaccination card in order to keep your job. No one ever said that about the flu vaccine. So this is where, again, we get into this strange baloney of what's going on. Yeah, pretty much. He's not helping America. He's certainly not at all been acting like any other president. He's been acting like almost like a dictator, a tyrant, and something which our Constitution is totally against tyrants. In fact, that is the reason when we had the Revolutionary War was because of tyrants. And let's be honest, was King George III really necessarily so bad? Well, kind of, but that's another story altogether. My ears are not necessarily in the best of shape. These are ripped up as hell. Alright, so I think you get the point what I'm getting at here. Well, like I said, I'm not even considering taking the vax at this point. It's not something that I'm even considering right now. All right. Well, maybe you can help us figure out one problem we're having with his Discord on his phone, since you don't want him to use his phone so bad. We try to log on through his phone. We use his email address. We enter in his password. It keeps sending us a stupid CAPTCHA. We keep filling out the CAPTCHA. It keeps saying it's the wrong, that the phone or the password's the wrong password. We checked our password on this file, and it's correct. And it's like, what? Why is this thing saying it's the wrong password when it's the right password? Well, it's not set up right now for that at all. I have to work on it later on. Yeah, I have to delete. I'll have to delete both of his accounts. No. We'll have to do that, I guess. Anyway, so right now we got the panel for the public panel up. Let me just copy the link here. It's the standard link we use every time. So send us to you particular since. Okay. I don't know. Okay, so like I said, the problem is that I'm finding this really, really vexing. Um, this president acts like we're all a bunch of simpletons who cannot at least look into what he's trying to do. I think the sad truth is he realized that we do know what he's trying to do, and that we're not actually falling for that crap. That's what I think he's missing the point of. We had a revolutionary war because of things like this. So, what would surprise me if we have a local secondary revolutionary war or civil war? I have no idea. I don't even know exactly much about the backstory between him and Gabby. I have no idea what the real story is. But I know some people making it seem like a major hot pocket story, but the truth of the matter is all I know is he's supposedly somewhere in Florida, and that's all I know. I have no idea the details. We don't know why he killed Gabby. We don't know if he killed Gabby. Um, again, I don't know the story. I don't keep up with that kind of news. Isn't normally what I cover. It's economic news that I'm covering. And right now, the biggest problem is the economic news is just basically is atrocious. You can't really say that things are going to get better economically. Well, like I said, I don't know the story. I really don't. All I know is that in the shipping industry, things are pretty bad. Um, I know that there's a lot of companies that have found that a lot of their inventory is sitting in container ships parked outside of the Port of Los Angeles and Port of Long Beach. They can't get to the contents. And yet, at the same time, who's going out there and fueling all the ships sitting out there at anchor? I mean, they don't exactly sip diesel. I mean, they guzzle it. Because the diesel provides everything from electricity, navigation, to desalination of water. Um, how are they keeping the ships fueled? No, I haven't. Ugh, I hate cremated friend. Cremated friend, aka instant coffee. I'm drinking instant coffee this morning because nothing wrong with tea, of course, but um, I usually drink tea, and I decided to make instant coffee this morning. I don't know what the lowest letters mean. Morning, Red. How you doing? So anyway, Tyrant Joe has basically irritated the living heck. I don't even know why you're bringing up these words. Hi, Carolyn. How you doing? See, Carolyn's here. Carolyn to be free is here. Oh, I don't know. I don't really have any particular words that are special to me. I mean, I just language is language. You know, it's where we express things. It's like I mentioned in yesterday's special video from Silvermoon Radio. I got uploaded to my Google Drive to be sent over to Patreon. So I'm gonna, and then that video, I talked about a little bit about my childhood, which was really interesting because no one really talks about my childhood that much. So right now the good news is for the next few days anyway, the temperatures are gonna be why is this one being held for review? We're gonna be having some mild warm days until Sunday, and then the temperatures are gonna turn colder. So, which is good, I guess, but then the nighttime's gonna get downright cold for this time of year. One of the things I'm growing more and more concerned about, as I said, about the shipping industry is no matter which Cumberland farms you go to, there's a shortage of a lot of things there. The New Cumberland Farms, when originally was owned by Mercury Gas Station, has a lot of refrigerated foods space, but there's a shortage of freezer space. And because there's a shortage of freezer space, there's only like one freezer in the whole place. So you can't get to store a lot of ice cream or milk. I mean, frozen things. There's just no space for it. And part of me says, why would you design a store like that? Whereas the other Cumberland Farms still has a lot of refrigerated space, but it has twice the freezer space. So they tend to stock a little more on ice creams of different grade, from the super premium Ben and Jerry's, Haagen-Dazs, to the store brand, to the basic ice creams like the drumsticks and things like that. But and of course they have half gallons and quarts and pints. But the new Cumbies doesn't have enough freezer space to store all that. There's only like one freezer, and that's it. So it's like, I don't know why this store would, brand new store from the beginning, would design that where there's just not enough room to keep enough frozen food. I mean, there's lots of aisle space, for groceries and stuff in the aisles. But the sad truth is, even there, the new Cumberland Farms is lacking. Okay? There are things that are just not getting stocked up on the shelves right now. And that worries me. In the frozen foods department, I love my ice cream. Nope, I can't afford to spend $7 for Haagen-Dazs. Sorry. Especially not in $6 for a pint. No way. Cheeses. They're almost out of cheeses. And that's in the refrigerated section. There's even the milk right now. They're running low on certain food items that you would expect the store to keep fresh, and they're trying to keep the stuff fresh. But there's just not enough room for everything that they used to carry. How are you doing? So, I went to Cumberland Farms yesterday, tried to see if the freezer was back online at the old one. Nope, still broken. Then I went to see if they get any more cheese stocked up, because that's not a frozen food item. Nope, no cheese. Then I said, well, I gotta get a gallon of milk and butter anyway. Milk was plenty of milk. The problem is that they seem to be running low on the whole milk. Butter, there was a couple pounds of butter, so it wasn't exactly like it was short on butter. But what? So anyway, I went to the other Cumbies a couple days ago. Well, it's the same problem. Ice cream? What ice cream? There wasn't really any ice creams left. Frozen pizza? What frozen pizza? There was only a few 12-inch ones left. And, so this is the reason why I see what's going on with the shipping, and I'm becoming a little bit apprehensive, because I can see where stores like Cumberland Farms that don't have any real storage room in the back would basically be in pretty bad shape. They don't have the supplies that they need. And still, to find out that the airline pilots, and the truckers' unions are all saying the same thing, is we're not going to be pushed into something that we don't believe in. Either get the jab or be fired. It's not acceptable. And that's just weird that we're doing that to American people of all things. This is America, people! Land of the free, home of the brave. What is this? A tyrannical president who thinks that unvaxxed people are as bad as lepers? What? Why don't you call us a bunch of hillbillies while you're at it? Well, I am literally a hillbilly. I literally live in the hills of Litchfield County in Connecticut. So yes, I'm a hillbilly. I'm also actually what they call I'm part of the Raggies. But you know what? I'm going to tell you a secret. Just because I happen to grow up in the sticks doesn't mean that I'm stupid. I take pride in my knowledge and what I studied and what I learned and how I keep up with what's going on in the world today. And I'm proud of what I believe in. I'm proud of the things that I do for my country. There's nothing wrong with being a hillbilly. There really isn't. I was taught to believe and love my country and love my God and love the Constitution. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yet sometimes you get these people who sit there and saying, because you are so backwater, uneducated, excuse me. You talking to me? Because I'm certainly not uneducated. Okay, so I don't have some big fancy degree from some Ivy League university, but that doesn't mean that I'm stupid. And if I ever saw a president ever talk to me that way, I would slam him so fast that he'd be seeing stars in seconds. No one ever said that we're stupid or unwashed masses or anything like that, and that's assuming that we never have a brain. That's not the case. We're smart. You live a life like I do, where you have to basically think on your feet. You don't have time to be, to just dawdle on stupidity. You have to look at the reality. And the reality is this. If you're losing because people quit their jobs over something you want to push, if you're seeing people are basically fighting back against a Democratic proposed idea for the new stimulus bill, the $3.5 trillion one, I don't know what's going to be in the end, of being able to go in and snoop into your bank account for any deposits or withdrawals of $600 or more. And you don't think Americans are going to simply say, no, that's not acceptable. That's unlawful search and seizure. You can't do that. What I put in my bank is my business. There's no phones in the morning show. And that's not here anyway right now. But like I said, I'll be damned if I have to listen to somebody tell me and speaking down at me. No, so they said, down at me. If you consider me an equal and talk to me as an equal, and you can convince me, or at least try to sway me, not by talking like an adult or like a highfalutin snob talks to an underling, but if you talk to me as an equal, explaining your point, maybe, just maybe, if I can find convincing evidence that supports your claim, I might consider it. But that's not what Joe Biden's doing. This country is built on the ability to be free, the ability to express one's views. And it says that even in our Declaration of Independence. That we all have the inalienable, meaning that no one can take it away, rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, what Joe Biden's trying to do is not exactly trying to encourage life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's tyrannical. He's in bed. Or do you think he would be? It's morning. It's Tuesday. Take it for what it's worth, guys. I know that YouTube hates the people who support the middle or more of a centrist point of view, but guys, I'm part of the Purple Party, okay? The party of the middle of the spectrum. You know, it don't matter if you're a moderate Republican or you're a moderate Democrat. The only difference between you is really very little. We're the major part of the party that thinks about things that are being said. We analyze, observe objectively what is being said. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't support the far left progressive agenda, and we don't support the far right conservative agenda. We're the middle. We try to be balanced between the two sides and find common ground. But what Joe Biden is doing is not common ground. I'll be damned if I ever have to visualize my whole life being ruled by somebody who like that. I lived with a control freak. And I tell you, I lived with multiple control freaks in my life, thank you very much. From my mother to Patty DeMar, I lived with them. You don't want to live with a control freak, okay? Because I yearn to be free. I yearn to be my own person. And I base my decisions on logic. So from observation, that's what I do. That's the way my life is based. On truth. What about you guys? What do you think? I mean, I am more than sure there's more than one person here on this channel that agree with me, at least in part. What's going on in this country is crazy. And it's affecting individual lives. You know. So when I go in the store and I see that I can't even buy the food and supplies that we need because there's no trucks coming by to deliver the food and supplies that we need to the stores. That's pretty sad. And it's actually frightening. Think about it. You can't buy the supplies you need. What are you going to do? Our country sucks because the politicians that rule it blazingly suck. By the way, you want to join us on the panel? We do have it open, by the way. I know. Exactly what I'm getting at. That's why. Container ships, 70 to 80, maybe more outside the Port of Los Angeles, Port of Los Beach. We can't even get the ships into this country because there's not enough dock hands to unload them. And the reason why there's not enough dock hands to unload them, very simple. Because of what Joe Biden has done in trying to mandate everything. Such thing as, get the jab or you get fired. Excuse me? Get the jab or get fired? Sorry, honey, I quit. And that's what they are doing. That's what they're doing. They're saying there's no more of this tyrannical baloney. This country doesn't need that kind of crap. This country doesn't need that kind of baloney at all. That's why we had the Revolutionary War. That's why we broke away from England and King George III. For this exact reason. Think about that. We didn't have to break away. But we saw that the way we were being treated when we were colonial times upset us. Because at the time of colonial empire, we were basically pretty much independent. But unfortunately, once the House of Lords and House of Commons in Westminster realized, oh, what about those counties across the ocean? What about them? They should pay us taxes too. Because we're their crown, we're the empire. The minute they did that, saying they had to pay the taxes on tea and other supplies, and then we have to buy things from the home country, and we couldn't raise our own food or buy our own products. That's the reason why Americans kept very upset. They thought that was ridiculous. I'm not going to retract it. She can retract it herself. Besides, anytime you post it, I don't think you have to worry about that. I'm already on watch lists. I'm on lots of watch lists. Too bad not too many of them come to my channel anymore to watch me. But I'm still on the federal watch lists because I've been known to speak my mind. But not in a way that usually gets anybody upset. But just basically point out, like for example, one time I told the President Barack Obama can go kiss my ass. This is true. It's the whole government is corrupt anyway. We already know that. But the whole point is that when we put these people in office, they lie to us. And we knew they would lie. But some of them just are more dirty than others. The system's got to come back to center. You get too far to the left, you got these crazy nut jobs running around. You go too far to the right, you got those crazy nut jobs on the far right running around. We need a government that's more centrist, one that's a little more analytical and looks at the reality of what's wrong. They've been saying there's been nothing going on since after Roswell. So, and Project Blue Book. Now they're starting to say, yeah, there might be somebody out there. Well, gee, why were you so afraid of telling us that before? Well, that's another story. But the thing is yeah. There's that, you know. But the thing is what this country needs needs a, as I said, a centrist arrangement where people on the central or centrist viewpoint can go, gee, you know, I don't know. Whatever happened to the morning crowd? I actually still wondering about that. 186, 1,086. 1,086. Where did the morning crowd go? We used to have as many as 12 people, 16 people. Where did they all go? I know it's Tuesday morning. I know Tuesday morning is work day for many people. As the reality kicks in that people are starting to go back to work now. Theoretically possible, but at the same time, there are people that do because I see them a lot of replays. I see a lot of replays on the shows. So I wouldn't say that it's totally true that they don't like the topics because they're just focused more to a specific group of people than the general audience for the most part. I mean, that's no lie. I know that. You know, well, we only do one night show a week. And you know that. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. You think that title sucks? Let me retitle this to closer to what it is. Well, less in a way that's not going to get YouTube all get their underwear on a bunch. There we go. That should do it. Because that's what we started out with, was talking about the shipping industry. No, I changed the title to match more specifically the topic we're talking about, which originally was the shipping sector. And it's just an example of what I'm talking about. You know, and Joe Biden single handedly, yes, he did, destroyed this country. Like the HBO did a woman. Unfortunately, that would also be inappropriate for YouTube, too. Pornhub, well, that's another story. You think something like that would be a really bad idea for YouTube because of their nature of the YouTube system. I'm not necessarily looking for more views and sensationalism. What I'm looking for is more views in the sense of people that are willing to come share and intellectually stimulate each other with new ideas or concepts. That's what I'm really looking for. Well, I'm not going to be misleading my titles either. After all, I have to abide by the rules on here on YouTube. Well, I'm not going to mislead the audience. I'm not going to be like a politician and say to the audience, something and then don't deliver it. Then it's going to be making a lot of angry people want to grab the torches and pitchforks. That's not what I want to do either. Well, I'm not going to do clickbait. I don't believe in clickbait. I don't think it's fair to do clickbait. Well, either way, if my morals and my ethics don't exactly wash with a lot of people, the problem is that it's something that I've grown up believing in, being honest and factual. And like I said, sorry about the young guys. I can get this as yawned over these topics as much as the rest of you guys. I believe this country needs to fix. I don't think I'd really watch much of that. I don't think I'd ever watch Jackie Gleason and Art Carney and the Honeymooners. And taking people is not dishonest. Yeah, okay, look, let's talk about this. Okay, what we're covering is not exactly a prank or a trick. It's reality. And I don't need to sensationalize it. It's already naturally sensationalized enough with all natural ingredients. You don't need to sensational it further. Say, like Michelle gets eaten by a Vorgon or something that's not even accurate, or container ship basically gets rammed up Michelle's butt. This one's kind of descriptive. You can just see one of those big evergreen container ships get rammed at Michelle's big fat ponderous butt. But the point I'm trying to point, like I said, the real world is bad enough, and you're trying to talk about the reality, what's going on out there. People just want to know the facts. They want to know what's going on. They want to know why it's going on. Who, what, when, and why are basically the whole points of true journalism. To get to the facts. Don't sensationalize it. Oh, I know your editors and your publishers, your newspaper, or your radio show, or your TV program would love to see sensationalize it. With your nice type, your headlines. But the doing is it's got to be based on facts. I know. People live this crap every day. We want to laugh and have fun. Oh, absolutely. I understand that. We all want to have fun. But honesty and being forthright is just as important. As the sad truth is, I'm not gonna lie. Everyday life is routine. It's boring. It's pedantic. It sucks. Yes, I know all that. I agree with you on one thing. I was thinking about an idea for a video last night. Alright, I'll tell you about you. Well, I'll be honest, I think it'd be more funny to see it. There are these plug adapters. Most of them are made by Chinese companies. Walmart even sells them. They'll let you plug in European appliance plugs into American power sockets. And there is questions about how some of them are made. If they properly comply with UL requirements or not. So the cat right now is in the bedroom, I think. I had no power last night. Welcome to. And so the question is exactly, if I was to review a whole bunch of these different power adapters, which ones meet safety requirements, which ones don't? Okay, that part sounds boring. What do you do with the broken ones? The ones that don't meet code, ones that don't meet safety requirements. Put them into a garbage disposal. Garbage disposal wouldn't chew them up though. Wanna bet? I haven't seen any booms. But I've been seeing flashes of light around here lately. Inside the house. Not sure what caused that. It's not the light bulbs. Wouldn't it be more of an NSA problem, not an FBI problem? See, that's the question. What is the difference between the CIA and the NSA and the FBI? I still don't understand that. Let's not forget the EATF, explosive, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Actually, it's ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives, which is a branch of the FBI. It's like, who's responsible for what? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think the one mistake is that we expect the ETs are going to take the time to fix the problem, i.e., the perfect superheroes, right? Maybe the ETs just going to come by to pick up a gallon of gas and a gallon of milk. Maybe they're not interested in knowing exactly what's going on in the back room. They just want to know that they can go get some basic supplies on the way home. Maybe they need occasionally, maybe they may want a loaf of bread too. Right? They don't want to know about the stuff going on behind the scenes. They just want to get the basic services, just like you and I would. Mm. Well, in a way, I mean, the fact of the matter is that for some people are hoping the ETs are going to save our bacon. Let me tell you what. If I was an ET and I landed in, say, a quiet park somewhere, right? Turn on my cloaking device. I'm not going to sit there and want to have a bunch of human beings come to me and go, Miss Alien, can you please fix our problems? And be like, excuse me, kids, I got enough problems. I need to get a gallon of milk before I go home because I'm out of milk at the house. I need a pound of butter, and I basically need to get some frozen pizzas. I don't exactly have any way of helping you solve your problems because right now I got my partner home screaming as he says there's no food in the refrigerator. That's pretty much what I would say to you. If I was ET and you asked me to help you solve all the problems. And I also would add, but on the other hand, I could look at them. That doesn't mean I'm going to be able to help you solve them. Yeah. By the way, buttermilk. Buttermilk is a type of milk with heavy milk fat. Um, so if you put butter, comma milk, comma pizza, it's different. Then if you say buttermilk and pizza, buttermilk is usually used for like buttermilk biscuits. I have heard of them, but I don't know much about them. The soulless ones. Um, I don't suspect that they don't exist because I think they do. Um, they're golems as far as I understand. They don't have a sense of direction. They don't have a soul. Well, I know that. Well, you know what? I talked to Ed about something similar 2 nights ago. I told him, I said, look, me and Lumi are Pleiadians. Okay, we came here many, many, you know, lifetimes ago to help the world as best they can to keep going. We're star children, and we believe in, you know, being teachers and sharing of knowledge. And I said, Ed, in your case, you're from a tourist, I can tell that you're not a thinker as much, but rather you work at actual action. A lot of people come from this or from the star children. Celia Fenn talks about this. We're light workers. That's why we're here. We're light workers. I'm a Nordic blonde. Actually, I'm Italian, Norwegian, German, British. So yeah, the thing is that that's my earthly heritage. As am I. I'm a light worker as well. This is Michelle. Yeah. And people don't really understand that we understand and we care about you. Jesus was a light worker. Jesus was too. And I mean, how much was he actually saying was actually shown in the scriptures? Remember, when you read the Bible, you're really reading a book of books, basically, that doesn't really necessarily represent everything that was actually said, because they're written by multiple authors, stuck together. Kind of like, I'm trying to think of an example. I just had one. Kind of like Reader's Digest. They're condensed books. Just 3 of them almost sound the same. Matthew, Mark, and Luke. John is completely different. Okay? But these books, and there's 66 of them in the Protestant Bible, New and Old Testament, are, well, unfortunately enough, let's just say that, like I said, it's a Reader's Digest, it condensed books, and that's what it is. Yeah. Those two are past God. Can't help people only playing troll games, Leo. Yeah, we claim it's God's word, but it was canonized by 2 different canons, by 2 different communities. The Old Testament by a group of people in the Jewish faith system, Jerusalem, that put the Old Testament canon together, and then Constantine put together the new canon. And there's nothing wrong with that, except what happened to all the books that were not included. Maybe they should call that one Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, whatever. The point is that the books that were selected contradict themselves, and you fall over each other, and they try to. So whichever way you want to read it, it's up to you. Yeah. I love this one quote here that of some of the come out lines that were taken out of the World of Warcraft about female trolls. I talked about it yesterday, which is that a female troll, when enraged during heat, can make love to 80 men at one night. And I said, on the show, I said, is she necessarily monogamous? Now, think about that. If the trolls make love with up to 80 men in one night, well, then the Cinderai and the Calderai are children of the trolls. Does that mean that a female Cinderai or Calderai is going to be able to make love to 80 men at one night when in heat? I don't know. That's a great question, because there's so little we know about the World of Warcraft, and that was one of the pickup lines that was removed from patch 9.1.5. And people are like rightfully upset because Blizzard's trying to sanitize World of Warcraft even more than it already is. More like a big harem of men with one female basically taking them on in one night. I'm sure that the male trolls enjoy it too. I have no idea. You might want to check out Moonguard. Moonguard on the Alliance side is where all the really racy stuff goes on. One Rest Accord on the Horde side is where you find a lot of the racy stuff too. And a lot of it occurs in Silvermoon, incidentally, on One Rest Accord. WoW does not have a choice. If they want the feds coming in and shutting them down, they need to get a handle on all the erotic role playing that happens in the kids' game. Except it's actually not really a kids' game. Okay, think about this, Red. It's not really a kids' game. Well, if we could also get a private server called World of Warcraft, let's, like the name implies, is definitely not no kids' game. But the problem is Activision Blizzard just keeps making the stupidest decisions in the design of the game. Do you ever really notice the real difference between World of Warcraft Shadowlands, say, versus World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth is? Or even Warlords of Draenor? Just a location, pretty much. Oh yeah, a couple of changes here and there with the the prizes and the boosts and the things you can earn. And that's kind of stupid, because the sad truth is, Battle for Azeroth was like, okay. And I'm playing Burning Crusade Classic right now. It's rated teen, so it's for teenagers. I'm sure anybody who's had any experience as a teenager knows dang well that some of the jokes, some of the flirtation lines actually were not that bad. Yeah. Know what I'm talking about. I know. There were no kids, but it was technically rated for teen. But the sad truth is, you're right. They made the game too simple. What they need is they need a World of Warcraft that is more for older audiences. Oh man. Especially on Moonguard. Goldshire and Moonguard is definitely a place of rowdiness. Silvermoon is on this. Yeah, here's the difference, though, Loom. Silvermoon is not in the center of the Alliance Empire. Oh, for the humans, okay? Where you go from Northshire to Goldshire, then from Goldshire to Stormwind to Red Hills, okay? Silvermoon is basically the end of the train tracks, for the lack of a better term, because it's not a go-through town. Well, it may be boring, but it's really interesting when you think about it, though. But Blizzard's not doing is they're not successfully managed to clean up the real world problems that they have at their shop. Okay? Blizzard is not managing to clean up their mess, the real world mess, in their production facilities. That's the reason I'm saying is Blizzard, get your house in order. Okay? Get your house in order. You know what I'm talking about. No, I don't think it needs to die. I think Blizzard needs to reform. Mike Monahan is running his own gaming production site. There's no reason why Mike Monahan can't buy World of Warcraft from Blizzard and say, look, I'm taking back over the game development. Screw this. I'm taking this to Dreamhaven. I'm going to rewrite this game. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to make it like it was originally. Let's get back to having fun. Let's get rid of all this PC stuff. Let's get rid of all this political correctness garbage. Let's get it so people can enjoy the game. Oh yeah, and stop having repetitive themes over and over again. How many times have I played WoW? And I played several different distributions, and I felt the same thing. It's the same old. It's the same thing. Fights, PvE, PvP, and dungeons, and battlegrounds. It doesn't matter which costume you wear. The truth of the matter is it's the same old crap. Don't matter if you're Alliance or Horde. You know what? It doesn't matter which Alliance you are or which Horde you are. You're just basically in a costume. Well, what's the family life like? What's the social life like in the game? What's the difference between a dwarf and an orc? What's the difference between the two? I mean, besides the superficial. How do they raise their kids? How do they have families? What do they do for fun? That's the things I never see them do in the game. And I think what's going to happen is, since our private servers, including Ascension, is that they're probably going to keep the game alive, but they're going to be newer developers that, even if the game ever did end up in the abandonware, I think what's going to happen is that companies like Ascension are going to come ahead, Ascension of Azeroth, and they're going to finish rewriting the code for a new variation of World of Warcraft, which basically would basically upsets Blizzard. Yeah, well, Blizzard, maybe I should give you some advice. Instead of trying to sue them in court repeatedly, why don't you actually hire some of these developers if you really want to keep up with the game? There's a lot of things being done in Ascension that looks really interesting. Why don't you look into that? I I think it's a lot more complicated than that. And another thing too, okay, even though it's not a game, but there are games based on this. Similar to things could happen here with World of Warcraft. Take a look at the Star Trek universe. How many books are written about Star Trek universe by Simon and Schuster's Pocketbooks division? How many books? How many writers? How many authors? Lots. How many people are actually writing fan fiction? Lots. Why is Blizzard, for example, not working with getting more than just Christie Golden and maybe one other writer writing books for World of Warcraft? Come on, people. You got fan bases of writers that want to get a try. Why don't you let them have a shot at the prize? It wouldn't hurt you any. Let people have some fun. Share stories. Who knows? Maybe we might even hear more. Maybe we might even hear conversational Thalassian, or even Orcish, or even other languages like that. We don't. It wasn't long before finally the Klingon language, for example, was finally taken over by a linguist who created Mark Okrand, who created Klingon, Power Klingon, Conversational Klingon tapes, the Klingon Dictionary. I used to have all three. The truth of the matter is, we have people that want to tell stories. For example, I was listening to a song which is by Debbie Boone, which actually was the songwriter was another guy. But let's see, it's called "You Light Up My Life." I started to translate that into Thalassian. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a very easy song to sing. It's not that hard to understand in English. And so translating into Thalassian, the problem was that I couldn't find a full list of words in a lexicon. I found a third-party lexicon for Thalassian that goes further. But I just got to put those words in and make sure that it still matches in with the rhythm and the cadence of the song. So I think it's possible to make this game and the stories behind these games more exciting and entrenching. The problem is that you're depending on like 2 or 3 writers. Christie Golden, come on! I don't know anything about her, but all I know is it seems like the few books that are written by World of Warcraft all the writer of Christie Golden. That's it. That's the only writer you got, and maybe one other person. Gee, Blizzard, you really need to open up the franchise to more writers. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm talking about what Blazing Leo said she's got to turn the heat on. For the next few days, it's going to be mild here in New England up until Sunday. The thing is that just totally, pisses me off. That just totally pisses me off. And the one thing that we can change in the world, one thing that we can make it a better or awesome place, is what we do for entertainment. Well, suspect that there's a cold front coming through from the north. Yeah, it would make sense because on Sunday it's going to be cold here, so the cold front is probably slowly moving its way down. You ever hear me sing on my videos? I mean, yeah, you heard me sing. A couple days ago on Saturday night, I actually did sing a lot of good songs on Silvermoon Radio. The problem is that this PC correctness thing has gone too far. Being a game writer is hard enough, keeping up with all this ones and zeros and development, but the thing is I don't know. I've been watching World of Warcraft and playing it on and off now for since 2019 when World of Warcraft Classic came out. And I enjoyed the game. I enjoy it because it was fun and it's a good way for me to get away from the drudgery of the real world. Well, that's why I think Mike. That's why I think Mike Meinheim has to take back ownership of World of Warcraft. Him and his company called Dreamhaven should just totally take back and buy it from Activision, buy the rights to Blizzard, and say, "Sorry, we're taking back development." Battlefield game over the weekend. 148 players in the server. They have 0 voice chats for a reason. It's because we aren't allowed to speak. Since the morning shows haven't been doing as well. Well, they've been doing okay in their own way. That and the vlogs and Bcast have been doing okay in their own way. But the problem is that every time I do an afternoon show, it's always got his hand on me. Michelle, I need you to do this for me. Oh, we need to make sure to take these pictures. I need to have these pictures ready for my audience. And then, of course, Craig did ask a valid question: is could you show me a video of the actual train set? I said, fine. I said, we'll do that. So now we got to set that up on the kitchen table so we can show him the actual train set. And I said, if I were you, Ed, I would take advantage of this time to talk about setting up these train sets, like how to connect the power connections and all that. He's like, why? You think everybody's stupid? I said, Ed, I said, you're assuming too much with the audience. Come on. You know, how hard is it to show them how to put a lock on the track so they can see how it goes together? Maybe someone may not know how to do that. So, for the program for the game for Ed's contents, I told him, I said, why don't we do this? I said, let's do a video showing the trade set at the same time explaining on your channel how this works, how this is put together, because that way people get to see how that works. No, because we gotta get ready to get going soon. What, 20 minutes? 15, 14, whatever. Besides, we don't take phone calls in the morning show. But you know what? I'm going to tell you right now one thing about this country, about this world we don't need anymore. We don't need any more is political police. Trying to tell us what we should and should not talk about. I think that's the mistake. Is that we're allowing situations to get out of control. Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's just the nature of the situation. Yeah. It's just the nature of the situation. Oh, I think a Blizzard was smart, and they don't seem to be very smart, is they should listen to their audience, to the players. But the problem is the players, is some of them think inside the box, which makes Blizzard happy. But the problem is, then you got players like me who think outside the box. And that makes Blizzard unhappy because they're not designed to deal with them players. Well, I mean, the real hardcore players are not very, it's not very a homogeneous group because, let's be honest, the hardcore players want more dungeons, more raids, they want more quests, they want the same thing that Blizzard's been putting in World of Warcraft since its beginning. Like I said, those players are easy to satisfy. They don't take no rocket science to figure it out. You know? But what I want is something very different. And that is what makes Blizzard's life miserable, because they can't provide. What do I want? I want, for example, be able to experience more of the life of the Cinderai. I want to experience what it's like to go through raising children, having families, eating food, cooking food. You know, what kind of work do you do every day? What's your life like? This is what I want to experience. This is not the stuff that Blizzard wants people to experience. Because they're saying is this is an MMORPG. Yeah, so what we want is the same thing. It's an MMORPG too. Massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Where's the RPG part, Blizzard? Not everybody just wakes up and goes start doing quests and killing people. I mean, don't you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Don't you have a relationship with somebody? Oh, I know what you're going to say. Isn't that going into flirting and flirtations of the game now? Yeah, it does. Yeah, where's Smeagol Cat? I saw him on Discord talking to Ed a couple days ago, but So Blizzard, do this. Or Mike Monaheim and Tree of Haven, you buy back the rights to your product, and then you do this. We want more to the Blizzard universe than what has already been going on in the game. We've already established a love of our characters in the game. We've already established, a love of the lore of the game. Let us learn more about the characters, the different classes and races. Go further than where you've gone, and get more writers than just one writer writing books for World of Warcraft. Yeah. That's just the way I feel about it. But when you allow a company to think and take out flirting lines from a game that have existed in many cases since at least 2004, worrying about even, some of the comeback lines are kind of funny, okay? But I actually have a video of some of the ones that were removed, which is kind of cute. I found on another channel. I should share the ones that were taken out. Some of them, I kind of admit, kind of so-so. They're not really super bad, but they're like kind of funny. I took a good. Yeah, well, he's a tourist. Food is their passion. I guess in some ways you could say Taurus is kind of like the sexual organ is their stomach. Because it seems like they like good food and wine and stuff like that. Yeah. It's true. But can't say much. I'm the kind of person, I know this would probably end up becoming a flirtation line for Blizzard someday. I'm the kind of person that if you want to have a relationship with me, it's head to head, i.e., intellectual discussion against you in my bed. I don't care what you got below the waist. I care what you got on the top of your neck. How you doing, Tommy R? Much appreciated. Well, maybe it may not be his main fetish, but for tourists, they enjoy the good life. Someday they gotta get that thing to go a little faster. Well, more like your warm wet hole for your lock to basically become sod and timbers. Monica doesn't have a fetish. Smoking habit. I guess. No, actually, you know what the thing is? I know a couple of Scorpios too, so I can speak from this. They get kinky. Okay, just put it this way. The ones that don't have families, they like they kind of like the female troll said. A female troll wouldn't get raised or eat. Could do 18 men in a single night. I hope you're ready for that. Could you imagine what it must be like outside of a female troll's house? So the problem is I like to see more positive development on the World of Warcraft. I want to talk about a little bit of everything. I want to start from talking about the shipping situation that debacle in the United States caused by a president who basically is becoming the king, kind of mandating that people get the jab, and even though that people, instead of getting the jab, are actually quitting their jobs. To the efficiencies of the Blizzard Activation Blizzard. Yeah, that's his. He likes trains. Well, I might want to try the Ascension private server Project Ascension. That might be an interesting game to try. The same races are so expensive. Sorry about the yawn. I gotta see. I might want to try out the Ascension private server. Ascension of Azeroth. Conquest of Azeroth. There's a one that's classless and one with 21 new additional classes. Besides the standard. Yeah, because I've been checking the news and stuff at night because it's been having me do a lot in the daytime, so I don't really get a chance to really even do much. No, but I should get some. I do have vitamins. I just haven't taken any lately. Just actual healthcare workers are actually refusing the vaccine. People are actually leaving their jobs and taking the ultimatum and quitting. You can't fire me, I quit. In fact, in some hospitals now, there's a shortage of nurses and doctors because of that reason. Oh, because the president decided to try to push a mandate. You don't mandate the flu vaccine, do you? If you don't get the flu vaccine, then you will be fired. Well, in that case, doctor, I quit. Goodbye. No. But yeah, it's a real problem. It's a real problem. Winter's coming, and soon it's gonna be time for me. I try to get outside and get vitamin D every time I'm in the sun. Right now there is no sun. It's overcast. I think there's just a little bit of sun peeking through the clouds. I think you should consider it. The problem is that I'm actually physically, I haven't even had any me time. I would add, it's like every time I get me time is like when he's sleeping or when he's doing his own thing with his computer, and then I try to do things like last night. I was going to play World of Warcraft, and then I saw what time it was. I was like, 11:30. I'm not going to be able to play World of Warcraft now. It's too late. I got to get up in a few hours to do a show. I can't play World of Warcraft now. And then it said to me, well, it's a problem. You've been sleeping all day. I said, that's the problem. Let's look at what time of night is. If I play World of Warcraft now, number one, I could play a game I used to play a game for hours on end. And then, hey. And it's just a lot of, well, just my days go every day. Wonder what would happen if we just had a day when we basically just throw this cash into the wind and just say, sorry, not today. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. If I'm tired, I'm gonna sleep. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. If I want to play World of Warcraft for 6 hours a day, I'm gonna play it for 6 hours a day. Screw that, you know? And instead, it's like he's always got this big to-do list of things that he wants done. Take last night, for example. Last night, he says to me at 7 o'clock, he said, oh, Michelle, gee, the game's going to be on tonight. Kind of really want to get some beer. I'm like, why don't you go down and pick it up yourself? I mean, just take the walk with you. Well, it's kind of dark. He was like 7:30. I said, Ed, it's 6:55. If you make less excuses, you can get the beer right now. And then the first thing it is, he gets it home, he says, annoyed with me, he says, it was dark. I went the back way. I tripped because the bag of the walk ripped because the bag was designed to carry 30 beer cans. I'm like, yeah, okay. Oh, and I also got groceries too at the same time from the storage bin. Yeah. So why did you go the back way for? Don't you know there's no light in the back? I thought it'd be easier. I would have thought it'd be easier to stick with the front. Instead, you went to the back way. What the heck were you thinking? I said, I wouldn't go. I don't even bring out the garbage when it gets dark in the back. I don't even bother. If I bring the garbage down there at the back in the dark, I'd be suicidal. Well, I thought it would be easier to take everything in the back so I don't have to go up to the front stairs, which are harder for me. In the daytime, when it's sunlight outside, you can see where you're walking. Yes, but if it's dark in the back, my walker doesn't have headlights. I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, it's almost time to get going, so I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. But here's the deal. Think about what I say every day. That's what these shows are good for. Is to open up your eyes to the futures of what I'm saying. Sometimes chew on it. Don't worry if you get indigestion. You can always take your Tums later. But you might be surprised what you realize when it... What? There's not moving. I don't have anything playing on the springs right now. I'm trying to find the right feeling. I mean, don't forget, just like a string, depending on how you stroke it, it's going to depend on the kind of emotion you're going to try to invoke. Well, guys, I'm going to get ready to head out, but because it's time to get ready to go get meals and feet. I already got my leg brace on today because I actually put my leg brace on this morning so that because it does help make walking a little easier for me. So yes, Michelle, stop doing all that stuff for him. He's a grown adult, has to gotten food stamps yet. He doesn't know when he... See, here's the thing. How long does it take for people to get the food stamp card? Yes, he was awarded food stamps, but no, he does not have his food stamp card. I was wondering, how long does it take for him to get his EBT stamp card? Because he hasn't gotten it yet in the mail. He got his award letter about a week ago. It said something they were going to mail him a food stamp card. He didn't get it yet. When is the card going to be mailed to him? It says it's going to be mailed to him. So I've been looking in the mail and I haven't seen anything because then we got Columbus Day. It came in. So that was yesterday. He was approved. But I don't know if they're expecting him to still have his old EBT SNAP card from 5 years ago. Because he doesn't know where that card went. I think he threw it out, he said, because he didn't think they needed it anymore. I said, well, that's kind of dumb if they're going to expect a man to keep a card from 5 years ago in his wallet. So I said, maybe you might have to do is, oh yeah, it still exists. The mail still don't come on it. Yeah, he just has to go up to the DSS office and get them to mail him the card. If he doesn't get it, I told him that. I said, Ed, just call up DSS. If you don't think the card is being sent to you, because that was the form letter they sent you, I said that you will receive a card in the mail. But I said, if you don't get it, then just go up to the local DSS office and ask them to send it to you. Everybody blames Christopher Columbus because they think he was Cortez. They thought that he was the guy that helped encourage the destruction of Mexico and the South American colonies. That was not Christopher Columbus's doing. Okay. Yeah. That's why I got confused. Yeah. No, it was the Vikings who discovered America. And of course, prior to that, the indigenous people that later became the Native Americans discovered it when the Bering Strait land bridge was opened during the last ice age. Well, all right, guys, I have to go. But so everybody, just help my channel by sharing the videos with your friends, families. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I know we had DVers on here a few times, DVRs or whatever you call them. If he comes want to come back, because it was like we got cut off yesterday with net split. So see what we can do in the future. Yeah, we'll keep going with things. All right, guys. See you soon. See you tomorrow morning. Bye bye. Bye bye, guys.